Hey, hello all. Hello all. Welcome to the MedBricks webcast. This is Raman Anamaraju. I'm the host. I'm not Albert Einstein. My name is Ramana. I'm the MedBricks webcast host again, one more time. So to clarify, um, so we have a actually I today I'm going to talk about our we are healthcare media channel. We broadcast in 7 platforms, and then that's what our and then I introduce a guest, and then I present a topic. That's our method actually, modus of operandi. So actually today that we have a guest. We had a guest. Her name is Dr. Marian Mass. I interviewed her a few hours ago, so I'm going to play snippets of her interview. Actually, it's one of the best interviews I've ever seen, and then I think you must watch it. You must watch it. I'm going to play just the introduction, and then I'm going to play throughout the week. I'm going to play the entire the video, different parts of the video that I taped with her. But anyway, after that, I'm going to talk about a Hindu woman's journey in 1883 to Philadelphia, her hometown of Dr. Marian Mass. This woman came from India, from Pune, to all the way to United States in Philadelphia, and I'm going to talk about her story and the healthcare during that time and how far we came from that point. So, that let me let me give some brief background about Dr. Marian Mass. Dr. Marian Mass is a practicing pediatrician in the Philadelphia area, which I just mentioned, and a co-founder of Practicing Physicians of America, PPA, they call abbreviation. So she co-authored for position paper on reducing cost and waste in American medicine, a physician-led roadmap to patient-centric medical care, and led the first free-to-care physician symposium in April 2019 at the Library of Congress. Since that time, the free-to-care coalition has grown to 34 patient and physician member groups to 8 million citizens. Guys, 8 million members now in that practicing physicians of America group. 70,000 physicians that's enrolled in actually. So they're all working on to make it healthcare accessible, affordable, portable, and transparent. So Marian has written many guest editorial in editorials in newspapers such as the Wall Street Journal, Philadelphia Empire, and the Hill, the New York Post, and others. So I think without further ado, let me play my snippet um, that interview here. I'm going to play that one right now. Okay, so be patient. So I'm going to bring this thing. So tell me your journey up to this point. What caused you? What inspired you to bring this point in life?
Well, I think it was at first it was circumstance, my life circumstance, and then kind of a tragic situation happened. So when I trained in medical school at Duke University, I felt like I saw some wonderful medicine. I loved my training, and then I finished in pediatrics at Robert Murray Children's Hospital in Chicago. My husband went with me. We met in medical school. He's a surgeon. I trained as a pediatrician. We trained in Chicago. Then we started having our children, and we moved back to this Philadelphia area and raised our children. We got that third child out of diapers, and I kind of woke up and I thought to myself, wow, what happened to medicine? When I trained at Duke, we were, physicians ran the hospital. And I feel like we've had a reversal. And now instead of the scrubs running the hospital, the suits are running the hospital and all of medicine. We've become so corporatized. It's become inordinately expensive to the patients. they're all paying more and they're all getting less. And we're frustrated as physicians, the nurses are frustrated. I know very few people in healthcare that are happy with the status quo, certainly the patients. And I was starting to look into like, well, where's all the money going if everyone's paying so much? And I was in the process of doing that, and my mother, who had been institutionalized with Alzheimer's, my mother had to deal with the passing of my father. So my father lived with us on hospice in my home for 3 weeks, and then he passed, and my mother was in not a position to grieve. And so my mother ended up needing to get hospitalized for geriatric psych. And from the beginning to the end of the hospitalization, it was a gigantic mess. I won't go through the details other than to tell you that in an accredited hospital, in a setting of my mother with really good Medicare Advantage insurance, she didn't get the most simple, basic care, despite my advocacy. And I'm the kind of person that I know how to play the game, so I went up to the hospital with coffee and chocolates in hand, and made sure that they knew that I was only trying to make sure that my mother got back to where she was manageable in her previous institution. But here I am as an advocate with someone that's very dear to me. I'm the only daughter. I had 4 brothers. My mother and I were very close, and she couldn't speak for herself. She was an hour and a half away from me, so there were 3 days that I got to the hospital, and there were 3 days that I had to work. I was exhausted from burying my father. I was exhausted from having him live with us on hospice. My children needed me. My husband needed me. I knew my mother needed me, and after 3 days of going up to the hospital, I thought things were in reasonable control, but they weren't. The whole episode has been written on Kevin MD, and I have to tell you, Ramona, it just took my breath away. It was almost like a shame that I felt that I could not help my mother when she needed me. As a physician, I was shocked. But then I thought to myself, well, if this happens to me in this wood paneled, appellated hospital, in a setting of good coverage, then what the heck is happening in some of the most downtrodden areas? Everything falling apart? Because if it was as bad as I saw it in a setting where it shouldn't have been bad, it must be really awful for those patients who don't have loved ones as advocates. So I lit on fire, and I decided it's time to really start investigating where's the money going, because you can see that healthcare is all about money.
I feel your emotional pain, and also you're expressing as a human being rather than a doctor. That is a very powerful insight. It's coming from within you. That is a fundamental to the advocacy. Yes, you see that she is a very, powerful as not only as a daughter of a mother. So she's telling her inside the pain that how she went through emotional journey and to come to this point and to see what's going on in healthcare. She doesn't have to be. She's well off, and in that sense, husband is a surgeon. She's a physician. She doesn't need to worry about anything else. But she's worrying about all of us, every patient. In fact, in America, she's heartbroken for American healthcare system. This is I see across the entire spectrum of physicians. She is a patient advocate. I'm the physician advocate. No, though I'm not a physician, I'm a true physician advocate. I know the games of Silicon Valley in and out. I came from there. So I understand this is things, I think it is coming from, we have to really pay attention to these things. There's no conspiracy here. It is very serious matter. And this is really painful journey. If somebody says it is a conspiracy theory or she is trying to make it up or something like that, they're ridiculous. They're not understanding the anger and the frustration among American public. It is really hurting right now. The entire United States, American, urban poor and rural poor are hurting. And the rural Georgia, rural America, rural Alabama, rural Mississippi, all these places, the care is unbelievably, that is slipping away. There is a headless chicken running right now. What's in the healthcare system? It has no system. Whoever can grab anything, get it and grab it. That's all it is. That is not the healthcare. It is such a fundamental human right. I'm not promoting. I'm not saying you need to do. This is you know, socialism or anything. It's just a human right is health. We can worry about how we can pay, how we compete with that, but it has to be fair to all people. Understand that, I used to provide a ultrasound to the patients, in not personally, but involved in a diagnostic center. We used to provide OB ultrasounds for people, and then the technician used to tell me that some people didn't have a they have a twins, they didn't have a ultrasound until the late pregnancy, until the 8th month. They don't even know they have a kid. They're going to have twins. What kind of a system we are developing? This America is one of the richest countries, and the American healthcare system is just a shambles. It is just a shame. It is eating every way, every other areas. Now they take advantage of this IT industry. That is, they think they said they want to solve the problem. They can't. They just open up and they lose. The stories. I don't want to mention that because they're too powerful. That is a so they whatever they try, they never succeeded. I can give you example. Okay, Google started Google Glasses. What happened? Nothing. They went dead. Amazon and the Hathaway and the JP Morgan started a company called Haven. It went into the dust because they can't solve the problem. The problem has to be solved by the providers, and we have to empower them. We can empower them with the technology, not taking technology taking over them. That doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make sense. My father is a village doctor, he's a teacher, doctor, he's serving in a small village. It is really heart wrenching what people are going through right now, including me. It is really, we have to reevaluate American healthcare system at the fundamental gross level. What kind of a politicians, what they're representing? Are they just playing the drums, or are they really caring for people? We have to question that. Is really fundamental question you have to put it. It's not only here. I'm not talking about the United States. Around the world, same problem. The healthcare. One Egyptian guy told me one time, healthcare is going to be like this, Ramana. The reason is the politicians love putting the hands inside the jar. That is easy to pick up. Everybody's scared of health, so they need it. They want to put their hands in it. But anyway, I understand Mary Ma's frustration. She doesn't have to be. She doesn't need to even worry about us, but she is, and really feel her pain. You all should be. So, so we need to wake up on this situation. How this healthcare system is working. It is just out of control. It is just unbelievable. So, but anyway, this is a we need to bring a. I know that they need some innovations. They need to adopt doctors. One of them is, I definitely understand. Innovation means not MBA. Innovation means you need to learn the new methodologies, how to help the patients better and more. That's the reason I started this channel. I wanted to expand their knowledge into mathematics, physics, geometry, technology, arts. These are all together. I'm going to talk about Jackson Pollock, how he can solve with the art of the Jackson Pollock, how can he solve the mental health problems. So we need to come up with they need to definitely expand their understanding, stuff. That's one thing physicians have to do, a little bit more prone to a little bit more understanding towards they understand patients, no question about that, but they need to understand the innovation part of it, what it takes to make it accelerate the process. If they learn that part, small even exposure to those areas, mathematics, physics, chemistry, art, and technology, they can beat everybody because they have an intellect and they have intellect and the discipline. Unbelievable intellect and discipline. It's not easy medical degree. I can tell you, I've been through so many doctors I've placed around the country. They used to live in my house. They used to stay in my house. I can tell you that is one of the challenging ways. it is just a long journey. But we have to really pay attention to the to this healthcare system. It is not just the slogans anymore. It is really, really hurting people. The long COVID is another added pressure to us. Is we don't even know what it is. The long COVID is. Dr. Eric Topol was telling that long COVID is here to stay. It is real, and that means you have a neurological problem, you have some other physical problem, mental problem, all of them, brain fog, is all of them together is coming on the onslaught on the health already. So already fully strained the healthcare system. This a long COVID is an added pressure to the system. So we need to address this. I think we can solve it. You don't need to. It is not a rocket science. I can tell you that. I've been through the technology. I've been through the workflow processes. I worked with the doctors all over the country. I can tell you, it's not just to listen to the process. The basic, simpler systems are there. Particularly if you start with the bottom up with the primary care physicians and then really give them empowerment. It's not a game. So you incentivize. Actually, there is a one. I heard something that you should reward people if they take less medications. How the less you don't need to incentivize the pharmaceutical companies buy more drugs rather than do other way around. You incentivize less drugs they take it, so you incentivize them because as long as they don't need it, they don't prescribe. So that is we need to come up with the new mathematical models. That's mathematics can help you. Blockchain is another one. Can help the privacy. Yesterday I was talking with Dr. George Matthew. This problem so he was balancing between the cardiologist with the cardiologist and the technology, and he doesn't want to replace cardiologists with the technology, because once the cardiologists leave, what the technology can do. So we have to really refocus and evaluate our healthcare system very carefully. Otherwise, America is going to be slowly descending into chaos, in my view. Okay, so let me present my next topic without further ado. It is I understand that Dr. Marian Mas. Thank you for coming, and thank you for caring for people, millions of patients. That is, I can see the passion. I can see her emotional pain, true emotional journey. Thank you so much. But anyway, I'm going to play the rest of your interview on the next coming week, snippets. You will see points one by one, and then we can all learn from here. Even I learned a lot from her. I've been in the industry for a while. I didn't even know certain things that exist, the names of the companies that behind the scenes. Very interesting. So, but anyway, further ado, I'm going to introduce in my chapter the doctor, who is a woman, came to United States, Indian Hindu woman, a Brahmin Hindu woman from Maharashtra. She's a Marathi woman. She's from a Brahmin caste, a higher caste during that time. She came to United States in 1883. I tell you what her name is in a second. So I tell you what is an 1883 American state of American economy, American state of the life, daily, everyday life in America in 1883. Transportation there's no automobiles. Only there are no automobiles. I'll come back. Okay. Oh. There is no automobile. Sorry about that. So there is no indoor plumbing. Most of the houses, unless they're rich people, there is no indoor plumbing. That means no toilets, no running water. You have to go to the wells to get the water also. Just 20 years after slavery, that is just finished slavery was done. Just 20 years after that. That is a year 1883. She came, Indian woman made a journey to United States to pursue medicine. I'll tell you about that in a second. So this interesting. So I tell you, during that time, that's in New Jersey, she came to a town called Rochelle, New Jersey, New Rochelle, New Jersey. Thomas Edison was just a 40-year-old young man. He just invented the electricity and the bulbs, and he was first. They were installing the overhead electric lines, not telephone lines. There's no telephones. Electric lines in 1883. The first one, the first town they picked up is Rochelle, New Jersey, where this Indian woman ended up on that year while they are while they are paving the um, installing the electric wires, overhead electric wires, electricity on the street lamps and stuff like that. So first electric lines in the United States in 1883 in Rochelle, New Jersey. That's where she came to meet the host family. So that she was looking for a she wants to pursue medicine. She studied medicine in India, but I don't think she did extensive, but she got some exposure in medicine. But she wants to study in the United States. She didn't go to England at the time. India is under the British rule. The Mahatma Gandhi is in high school. Think about that. Gandhi is in high school when she came to United States. This woman came to United States. Mahatma Gandhi is not even is not a Gandhi. Nobody knows him. so she came to United States 1883. Think about that. The journey she took. How old is she? I will explain. I will show you. So what are the diseases in 1883? I want to tell you that before she came at that time. What kind of diseases in 1883 was cholera, very third world countries that we had when I was growing up, typhoid, yellow fever, whooping cough, and tuberculosis. These are all diseases or the tropical third world country diseases or developing country diseases they were having in the United States in 1883. There was a first time installed in 1879 to 1883 was the last day of the National Board of Health. It's like a American Medical Association or NIH, National Institute of Health, basically. That was the precursor to National Institute of Health is a National Board of Health. It didn't last too long because the states are fighting. So they closed the doors in 1883, the year she came to United States. So these are the very common infections and the diseases that are going on in the United States, viral and bacterial diseases. So this is the situation in the United States during the time. So what kind of medications in the 1883? I'm giving you state of health in the year 1883, and then I will introduce you how she came to this country. In 1883, medications in 1883 is for the pain, opium, morphine, and cocaine. Cocaine is widely used for, is illegal drug, but it was all the drugs are scheduled. The top 1, 2 are Schedule 1 or Schedule 2 drugs. You cannot, so the cocaine is widely used in the treatment of the pain. The next one is fever. They have barks and antipyretics. I think that's what I'm saying, right? Is a bark, basically plant-based barks they're using for fever. Camphor is for skin diseases and few other botanical. Still United States are using old age that plant medicine. So that is the time in 1883. Then Johnson & Johnson it was not a Johnson & Johnson. It is a Johnson and some other company. They started the Band-Aid. They came up with the Band-Aid mustard. The first, not on the right side one, left side one, the Band-Aids they came out in 1883. It's a Band-Aid called mustard plasters. The plasters came out for the for wounds and everything. I think in 1886 or something, they came with Johnson and Johnson became separated from that company, and they became fully, or they bought that company. Johnson and Johnson became brothers, or father and son became the charge of the Johnson and Johnson. It's one of the well-known company in the world. I mean, they are in India. I used to know when I was a kid. That's the only company we know. My father knows. We used to get a plasters from them. Johnson plasters are very famous when I was growing up. So I think that 1883, that's the plasters, or that is the state of the art medicine, and surgical things. Surgery is just a. I tell you about the surgery part in a second. So her name is Anandi Joshi. She is a Marathi woman, Brahmin woman. She came 19 years old. You know, now people are scared to even 19 years old. They can, she was, think about that. She took a long journey from India through to United States, through England and here. It's a long journey, maybe 3 months almost. Um, it is through the ship. There are no planes. There are no automobiles. Forget about planes. So she came through a ship, through some missionaries. Actually, she tagged along with the missionaries from United States. So she came to Philadelphia. She went into admitting. She got a admission in the First Women's College of Pennsylvania. That's the First Women's College. That is the building. That's a huge building during that time. I think in Philadelphia. Is now it is a Dexter campus. Actually, is a part of the Dexter University campus, the Women's College of Pennsylvania. So she came to that school. It's a famous school because they were teaching mainly, until that they didn't allow even a woman to study medicine. The reason they allowed it first time, they started the Women's Medical College of Pennsylvania, because the only reason is that the pregnant woman, they want to take care of the pregnant woman. So that's the reason they started. Otherwise, the guys would have not allowed even women to. They have not allowed a woman to study any medicine. So that was the Women's College of Pennsylvania. Now is a part of the Drexel campus. It's very famous during that time. It's a downtown. I've been to the Drexel campus. It's downtown Philadelphia. So she was taking classes. She wrote to her host family, because we all know that she was a prolific writer. Anandi Joshi is her full name is Anandi Gopalrao Joshi. What she was for her age. She was a prolific. She spoke English very well. I tell you how we come to know about it. And then she wrote. She was taking the curriculum. If you see, probably cannot see it, but the same classes that I see nowadays, all the physiology, anatomy, and the materia medica, they call pharmacology, the same old classes. They're expanded, but same old things they're taking even now. So education has not changed. They need to add mathematics, physics, chemistry, arts and technology, interdisciplinary field. That's going to complete the medical degree a little bit better. So that was the coursework in the 1883 in the Women's College of Pennsylvania. They're all together. Materia medica is the pharmacology. They were not teaching until all the classes are finished. That is the latest stage. The medical college, the duration is only 3 years, guys. 3 years. 3 years. So after the high school. Okay, so it's a long journey. All the doctors I see, they get a gray hair by the time they start practicing. But yeah, so there's 3 years medical school. So she it was the lifestyle was fun. I mean, I see the girls are having the fun during that time, even 1883, the girls' dormitories, I think. So the campus is fun. I think they're all having a learning, and then they were they were playing all with the skeletons. You see that? They were not afraid. She wrote to her host family how she was not afraid of skeletons, all the bones and everything. So that is a cadavers that they're working on. She was not afraid. So that is a big woman from India with a very protected family and Brahmin family. She was going through this skeletons is a very interesting. So how she felt. So she really curiosity of understanding medicine, trying to help other people is the final goal. All these things are becomes minimal. So OB obstetrics and among Hindu women. She wrote a thesis on the pregnant Hindu woman. There's not a scientific thesis. These are all. It's not really science. During the time, it's not much developed in the medicine itself. So she was writing a little bit about the history and this some Indian methodologies and background history altogether. And she was a greatest defender of um, Indian Ayurveda. During that time, during this OB, the maternal care, a lot of times there was a big discussion in the United States is C-sections, cesarean sections, whether we should do C-sections are good or bad. Uh, why should they? There was a discussion among public in general. We should they should do more. Some people on one side of this one side of the people, and the religious people on the other side, no C-sections, and the other ones are pro C-sections. That's kind of a big debate during that time. But there was a middle ground is there. That's what she is trying to strike. Which one? The Anandi Joshi was trying to. I wish that I could read that what she wrote. Let me see that. I cannot read it, so I hope that I can. I'm going to read it for you in a second, if I can. If you just bear with me 1 minute. Okay, so what she wrote is very interesting. So the she's a prolific writer. Ananda Joshi was a prolific English writer. She writes in English. She spoke very well English. I tell you how we know about it. Just give me 1 second. I'm trying to find. Um, she wrote this. I want to see. I want to. So she writes as the importance of obstetrics and can be measured only by the value of life and health, and both being paramount consequence, it is deserving of most. I'm having a little bit problem with my glasses. Just sorry about that. Let me read it back. What she wrote: as the importance of obstetrics can be measured only by the value of life and health, and both being of paramount consequence, it is deserving of the most careful study. That's what she's saying. She was saying pay more attention to is not just don't pass the judgment one way or other way easy. It is a they are creating the woman are giving a life. You have to really pay attention. They're not throwaway people. We have to really pay attention. They're giving the life, so you must pay attention. You have to do very careful study on that one, whichever the decisions are. So One second, I'm trying to go back. So I, so she was a very profounder of Indian things she was talking about. I tell you why she was saying so profoundly. She's defending not to do overdo the C sections. That's what she was mentioning in the writing. The sages, the people who are in India, the ages and ages, the Ayurveda, who studied Ayurveda, they are not. They came with the wisdom, and they were saying that C sections, the natural life has to be born natural way. So the life has to be born natural way. That that unless it is absolute important, don't do the C sections. That's what she says. But anyway, what she said, that was the value of life itself. They're the givers of life, the women are. So so when what they go through is a 9 month of endurance test. She writes with is a basically nine, is a pure endurance for a woman going through pregnancy. Dr. Marian Mass, she said that she had three children. I hats off to her. I tell you, it is not easy forget about as a doctor, forget about as a mother. It is, they say that it is a 30 to 50% your heart and lungs works more, 30 to 50% more. Think about that, guys. That is not even when you do go to the gym, the guys is only 10-20% maximum. 30 to 50% their hearts and lungs work more than that. In the cases of twins, it is even more. Think about that. Okay, so that is so one of the things is she wrote that um, thesis on the obstetrics among Hindu women, that she was saying that C-section should be measured. That's what she's trying to. 30% of live births in the United States are C-sections, or 30% of all the live births, or 30% are C-sections done in the United States. That's a lot in my view, but I'm not an expert. But that's what the medical community is saying to some extent. So what is the problem with that? One of the things that new research is showing that you need to understand the microbiomes for this. There's a lot of new things are coming up about microbiomes. These are the bacteria. Microbiomes are you cannot see them. Bacteria, fungi they call viruses. These are all microorganisms. So they're all bacteria, fungi, viruses. They're all, some. These are all. Some of them are good. Some of them are bad. If it's too much of them is bad. Some too less is bad, or those kind of thing. That is a striking balance you have to have. So some of the viruses are good for us. So that keep in that mind, microbiome is mostly in the gut. Gut plays a very important role. The most of the bacteria is mostly the bacteria in the gut. They play a very critical role in our digestive tracts. So microbiome plays a very important role. That's why they say, um, second brain is in the gut. You know, I interviewed Dr. Mr. Naveen Jain, who is the founder of the microbiome project. Biome, he tests for the microbiomes testing, genetic testing. He does some kind of a testing. You can figure out what kind of a microbiome. It can tell you what kind of foods you can eat at the microbiome testing. What kind of foods it doesn't fit you. So, so these are all microbiomes are very important part of our body. They're all over. They're mostly concentrated in the gut area, but they're on the skin, on the top of the skin, inside the body, everywhere. So there is trillions. So these bacteria, what is the relationship between the bacteria microbiome and C-section saw? Do you know that when when the baby is sterile, when it's inside the placenta, is absolutely sterile. But that's she needs some of the support mechanisms when she's coming out. So what mother gives, grants this, delivers with the birth canal, she gives the microbiomes to the baby. So baby, when she is coming out, is rubber through the microbiomes, bacteria. This helps. That's what it does. Because they don't have the lot of things cannot digest by itself. So that's one of the reason actually the babies cannot break down the sugars. That's the reason they need a breast milk, because breast milk has that microbiomes. They can break it down. So that is important to the breast milk. In fact, so I forgot his name is I think famous football player. So nowadays a lot of people are getting a birthing. They are giving a births at home. In the you can birthing centers are all with a nice water. They give the babies in the water, in the tubs. So it is a C-section is reduces. If you do the C-section, there is a possibility that they may not be getting that kind of a microbiome they needed. That's one of the still under research. We don't know exact repercussions of that C-sections in the longer run. We are still is in the evaluation period right now, but there is certain definitely there is a connection between the microbiome and C-sections. So Anand Joshi, she got degree 1883 came in, and she graduated in 1885. The woman came in during the time. She was quite a defender of Indian Ayurveda. She was ex- I think I did. Let me see if I can what she wrote. I want to read that if I can read that what she wrote. I don't know where it is. Okay, maybe not there. I have written somewhere. Yeah, oh yeah, I'm going to read it from there. Okay, okay. So sorry about that, guys. I'm looking for that writing that she did. So she died in actually she went to right after the graduation she got a MD from the Women's College of Lithuania, and then she went to the clinicals externship to the New England Hospital in New England Women's Hospital, but she could not stay there. Her health went bad after that. She went back to India and died shortly after that. She died. Queen Victoria wrote a letter to her, complimenting her journey to United States and earning the degree. She was still we are under the British rule. Remember that Queen Victoria is a queen for us. I told you Gandhi was not even a Gandhi at the time. He was a high school student. So she went back and died very short life, but her writings are amazing. She There was her name is Caroline Dahl. She's a feminist of the 18th century, 19th, beginning of late 1800s and 1900s. She wrote a autobiography on Anand Joshi, Caroline Dahl. She was feminist during the time. She's a very interesting woman. She's quite came from a rich family, Caroline Dahl. She came from a very aristocratic family in Boston, and then she was during the 1800s. Think about that. She was anti-slavery. She was against the woman. She's for the women's rights. She was quite a defender of. She's a quite feminist, and a lot of people did not like her that during those years. But she wrote the book on book autobiography because she was a very celebrity. Ananda Joshi. All the press was very, they never seen an Indian woman. The only few people were there before her, and she was quite popular with her all nose ring and all the jewelry and wearing saris. She was very big news in the United States. So so that was, it's a big press is very much interested. um, but Carolyn Dahl wrote an autobiography on the. I think it's available on Amazon, or you can even download it for free on some of the online forms. But she wrote the autobiography on the Carolyn Dahl. Recently, Sarah Kapit, Ross Kapit, she wrote a glowing tribute to the Anand Joshi in her thesis on PhD thesis in 2015. She wrote, for her age, she is so mature. She wrote that brilliant. She was managing both East and West and combining their traditions, combining the both of them together very well. That is, she balanced out. That is very well for her age, and with her limited experience, she was doing extremely well. That's what the analysis of the thesis done by Sarah Ross Kapit. She is now works for a university professor. So I actually contacted her. In fact, I will invite her next time to come on my show. We can talk about it a little bit. So she wrote one of the things I love it. You can. This is the one she wrote. Um, I'm going to read it. It's a little bit longer, but it's worth listening. Since our let me make it a little bit bigger so it will make it easier for me. Since our study naturally embraces the cause and effect, race, habits, climate, influences, and means of assisting nature in her operations, we must not entirely overlook the history of the past ages and consider the superior minds of which labored with marked success in the same field of investigation under the promptings of the same motives as far as back as 15th century BC. She's talking about India, 15th century BC. She's referring to Sushruta and Sushruta, Samhita, and other Vedic literature. They may enable us to do the better appreciation of the science and pay due respect to discoveries and theories and mode of application of remedies of minds of different nations at different times. I therefore need not apologize for choosing this subject. She's prolific. She was writing with a force she was writing with a force. That is, sorry that my eyes are a little bit of a, in the glaring light, I have to read that stuff. But she was writing with a force, defending the Ayurveda and the Hindu culture and the Hindu traditions and the old age traditions of India, Hindu traditions. She was defending that, so just remarkable. She went back to Pune and she died. People like that, even with their short life, even though Sarah Ross-Kapit said that though she had a short life, but her imprints in the literature is immense. I think we should read her biography and her writings and her thesis. How powerful it was. It's even useful today what she was saying about C-sections. So thank you all for listening. Thank you, Dr. Moss. I will be playing here some of these snippets on the following week. Thank you all for joining. I'm truly honored. You can buy, to support my system, support my things. It is a very long journey. It is the doctors have to support it, because I'm the advocate for doctors. You doctors are advocate. They are patient advocates. There is no advocacy. The doctors' advocacy groups are almost done. They're not there. They're all sold by big boys. So there is not much left for them for the advocating the physician. People like me single man army you needed. People like Dr. Marian Moss. So thank you for all joining. Buy a t-shirt, buy your coffee cup, tote bags. Is Amazon available on Amazon? Go to my website, Daily Wear for Medicine. You can buy tote bag of Dr. Joshi's tote bag, and then t-shirts and everything you can buy. But the tote bag is there. You can buy on Amazon. So I'm going to just give me 1 second. So I'm going to play a little bit about it and where you find all these things.
We are retelling their stories through our patented designs that can be worn on scrubs, t-shirts, printed on conference bags, and endless other promotional materials. Daily Wear for Medicine is the first ever of its kind to create curiosity in medicine through visual art. We at MedBricks are celebrating unsung heroes of the past who made enormous contributions to the field of medicine through our unique campaign called Daily Wear for Medicine. You can wear it, carry it, and give it.